Welcome to A Beginner's Guide to GarageBand with me, Jonathan. Today we're looking at an absolute beginner's startup program on how to use GarageBand. So I'm using my desktop iMac, but a lot of the things we talk about will apply to the iPhone and the tablet or the iPad versions as well. But I'm on the iMac. It's not a particularly new one, so you may have a slightly different version of GarageBand, but the same principles should apply. So let's start off by finding the GarageBand logo. It's an amplifier with a guitar leaning on it, just down here, and I'm going to left click on that just to open it. And what happens first of all is that GarageBand will automatically bring up the project that you were most recently working on. In my case it's one called Waltz in C, you can see the title here. But we're going to start a new track, so I'm going to come, you'll see up here it says GarageBand and then File, and I'm going to go New. And it offers you these choices, and what I'd say is just always go for the empty project, and that way you can just add the tracks that you want to. So we're going to choose the empty project, and it automatically gives you a choice of 4 options. So we've got a software instrument in green, we have 2 different types of audio inputs, which is for the microphone or a line in if you've got a guitar or a bass or something like that, and the drummer. So I would always start with the drummer, even if you're not planning to use drums, and even if you're going to replace it with a real drummer's track later, I'd still start with the drummer, and we'll explain why in a minute. So we're going to create that, and GarageBand will come up with a drum track. So you'll see here it tells you what it is. It's a Bluebird drum kit with Darcy being the drummer, and this is the actual drum track itself, so the sound waves. So if we look over here, we can see the different drummers and what they might be types. So Darcy, it says pop songwriter, Levi, funky songwriter, and so on and so on. And over here we've got different genres. So if you want to write in a particular genre, we've got down here, we've got hip hop, and there's different drummers here, percussionists, different types of percussionists. But we're going to stick for now with Darcy as being the pop songwriter, or I am. And you'll see here's the track. So the first thing I want us to do is just down here you'll see there's a box marked fills, it's a round dial. We're going to drag that so that it's right off. So just take any fills out. Fills are kind of things that drummers do at the end of a sequence. You'll hear drum rolls or cymbal crashes. Well, we don't want any of that for now. Okay, so now we come back up to the drum track, and you'll see if I hover my mouse we get a plus box, but if I move it towards the track you'll see it comes up with that. And once I've got that up, I'm going to left click and hold, and then I'm just going to drag that so that I can make the drum track as long as I like. And I'm going to take it up to, let's take it up a long way. We can take it up to 70 or 80 bars, something like that. But when we start playing, it will start from the start. So there we go, and that's what we'll hear. So next thing I want to do is turn off this 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need that for now, the counting. What we might do is to click the metronome. So that's the triangle box there, so I'm going to click on that. And with the drums you could probably hear they're quite loud, so for now I'm going to take them down to soft. And I'm just going to, now you can drag it right back, and what happens then, let's just have a listen. So I'm just going to turn off the metronome actually for a minute, so I can turn it off by doing that. Now I just want, so I'm getting a nice sort of click track, but if I want a bit more of a click, I'm just going to drag this yellow ball across, about so far, about a third, and then you get that click coming through nice and regular, and we can add the metronome on top, clicking that on, and you can hear the clicking. So this gives us a nice steady rhythm to play to. Now it's very important to have a steady rhythm to play to, because over the course of 3 or 4 minutes it's very likely that you'll wander out of time. You might think you won't, but you will, trust me. It's something that all major studios would do, anyone recording. It's a good habit to get into, playing with a click track. So the click track at the moment is set to 100 beats per minute, but supposing our song is a bit slower, then we can double click on that and change it. I'm going to change it to 90, and then here I'm going to go back to the start, so you can see back to the beginning, and we can hear how that's slowed down. So play along with this or sing along with this to see if this is the right speed for your song. So tempo is the speed. Is that the right speed? And once you've got the right speed, you can keep adjusting it here until you get the right speed, but once you've got the right speed, then we're set. Now the one other thing we need to do here is this is in 4/4 time, but supposing you've written it in a waltz time, in 3/4 time, we can change it by single click on that, and we can change that to 3/4, and you'll see things moving about a bit, and then we get, there we go, so a waltz time. But we're going to stick with 4/4 for now. Okay, so that's fine, and we're going to go back to the start. Now if that's the right tempo and the right time signature, so the 4/4 is the time signature, but it's not quite the right rhythm, we can change it here. So let's start it playing, and we can maybe change this to, is that more the rhythm we want? Or number 3 I often use, because this is just a very straight rhythm, and you can hear that, so that's quite a useful one to play along with. So again, you can change the speed or the type of rhythm just down there. Okay, let's pause that for now. Now the other thing that you might see up here is these are the number of bars. So in this case, because we've got 4 beats of the bar, every 4 beats it moves to the next number here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and next bar, 3, 4, and third bar. And so you can see that it's a good way of finding out where you are in the track. And you can change this to being much smaller, so we can see the whole track by dragging it down. So see up in the right corner, or dragging it bigger if we want to see it in more detail. And so that's the drum track, but dragging that will change it, all the different tracks, to being able to see them in more or less detail. Okay, let's try adding a track. So we're going to add a MIDI track first of all. So here's the plus here, so it says new tracks. You can also go up here and track new track, but we can just click on here as a shortcut, so plus, and this time we're going to add an instrument, and this is going to be a MIDI keyboard. So I'm going to click on that and create, and it automatically comes up on mine anyway as the electric piano, and you'll see down here electric piano, but we have all these different choices, so up and down on the left you can see, so you've got piano, orchestra, and you've got strings and pipe organ and different things. You can just experiment by going about in there, but we'll come back to the electric piano to start off with. And you can see over here it's created a track for us with the telling us what it is. It's the electric piano, and so you plug in your piano or your keyboard into the back using a USB lead, so the MIDI out from your keyboard, and then a USB on the end of it plugs straight into the computer, and GarageBand pretty good at recognizing it as a rule, I think. So let's just have a little listen to that. So that's how it sounds, and so I'm just going to add a little bit of a track. So to record, I'm just going to press this red button up here, and the drums will start. So I just a few chords. So we'll stop, and you'll see that will go green when I've stopped. So that's finished that recording. Now let's have a little listen back. So I can drag that back up here. Can you see how once the mouse hovers over the line, I can drag that back? But you can also use the controls over here. So this one will take you right back to the start, and these will put you through a bar at a time. So let's have a little listen. So that's a very simple little keyboard pattern. Now if we want to change any notes, we can double click on the green recording that we've done, and up will come this box at the bottom of the screen here, and these are the actual notes that are shown in MIDI form. So we'll go drag back and we'll have a look. So I don't know what that little note is, so once it's highlighted I can right click on it and I can cut it, or delete it, but I can cut it. This one isn't quite lined up with this one, so once by hovering over it and getting that symbol again, I can just drag it, so now it's lined up with that. This one seemed a bit quiet, so I'm going to just, having highlighted it, I can just drag up the velocity, and we'll have a little listen and see how that sounds now. So that's a bit better, but this one seemed to be a bit late coming in, so once again I'm hovering over it and I'm just dragging it back a little bit, and you can just experiment with this to find the right place. So let's just try that. Ooh, and I've gone a bit too quick now, so let's just take that to there. And if I want to listen to it without the drums, you can see up here on the drum track, if we just click on that speaker and mute it, you'll see the blue comes up, and now we just hear the, oh, and we can turn the metronome off as well. Okay, well that's good enough for now. And actually with that piece, another little thing we can do of interest is once we click on this, if we think actually I don't really like that electric piano sound, I want a piano, I can just change it to a piano. There it is, it's changed to a piano, and we get and so on with other instruments, but we'll stick with the electric piano now, so I'm going to keep that and that, and that's it. So I'm going to unmute the drums and put the metronome back on, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add another track, but this time a guitar track. So what we're going to do is we're going to add plus, and we're going to come to this audio, and I'm going to click on guitar, and it comes up here, and you'll see it's on mine, it says input 1. My instrument is connected with Scarlett 2i2 USB, so I have a Focusrite Scarlett interface, and this enables me to plug my guitar into the interface, and the interface then plugs by USB into the computer. Now you can't really plug a guitar straight into a computer, so you need something in between, but what you can get is a USB microphone, and so that would plug straight into the computer, and they're quite good these days, so for recording your voice or for recording some instruments that would be handy. But I'd certainly recommend, if you're a guitarist or just generally for better quality, getting some sort of interface. There are lots of them out there. Like I say, I have a Focusrite one, but there are lots of others. So see how you get on, but that just plugs straight in, and again Apple is pretty good at just recognizing it, so when you're first setting it up. And here I've got clicked, I want to hear my instrument as I play and record, which I do of course, so I'm on the blue guitar one, I'm creating a new track, and it comes up automatically with an electric guitar amplifier picture here, and over here you'll see Brit and Clean, so it's different types of amplifiers. And effects, so there's lots of them here, and you can customize them all. So if I click on a different one, you'll see a different amplifier comes up, and a different one. Oh, that's the same amplifier but different types. Okay, so some of them, oh, there's a different amplifier. So some of them have different amplifiers, and some of them just have different settings. Now if you were recording an acoustic guitar, but you maybe had an electric line out from it, so it's going, so you've plugged your acoustic guitar into the thing, you can come back here and you'll see acoustic guitar settings, and I'd normally pick natural stereo, so but we are using the electric guitar this time, or I am, and I'm going to have a clean guitar, and I think we'll try the vibrato verb setting. So there's that one. And so I'm just going to add a few chords over the top just to show you. So once again, I've got my metronome set, my drums are ready to go. When the drums are muted, you'll see that yellow goes to grey, so that won't play then. So we unmute it, we can see the yellow, everything's lit up nice. And I'm going to press the record. So just a little recording there over the top, just to show how we can mix them in. So having recorded that, so if the guitar's a bit loud, which it sounds, I'm just going to pull this down a little bit. We'll take it back to the start. And there we go. So that's starting off recording. So we'll stop there now. Hope you've enjoyed that and found it useful, but I am going to continue with this same project in the next video when I'll be talking a little bit about editing. Okay, bye for now.